Let's get to the point. Melee is strong, from it being excellent point runners, anti-air units, and amazing cleanup ability. But my main problem is that Melee feels clunky and inconsistent at times. With its very disconnected melee movement and the flawed parry and clash mechanics, all these factors make Melee rather unsatisfying to play. In the video, I will structure my complaints with my issues, followed by the fix for those issues, if an explanation is necessary. Disclaimer: this video isn't about balance of the whole game. I might reference balance here and there, but this video is more focused on the smoothness and execution of the Melee gameplay, various bugs and issues of the class, and more specifically, Melee on Melee combat. This is first on my list because this is a small but extremely important change brought to my attention by popular AC6 modder Vumsy, who is also a handsome and skilled gamer.
I'm so bad. Bro.
Which is the fact you can't buffer weapon swaps during stun animations, as you can only swap weapons after your quick boost ends, as QB bring you out of stun, which is especially awkward when you want to bring out his shield while someone gets the hit on you. Falling attacks are activated by being above an opponent, and melee attacking, which allows you to bypass parry attempts and drag opponents to the ground, is what I would say. However, in my experience, and through some testing dragdowns, are very inconsistent. To my knowledge, dragdowns occur when you hit your opponent with a jump attack, while they are not in quick boost state. This means when they're in the middle of quick boost, or just holding down quick boost. As you can see, Tricera ignores dragdown as he is quick boost spamming away, and you can see Tricera is holding down quick boost, while Hurricane and Welkin gets dragged down as both are not in quick boost state. The problem with this is possible uses of dragdown are extremely limited, as players are most often always in quick boost state. And when we are not, we are just standing still on the ground, recharging energy, making the dragdown feature pretty useless. Another issue is the input activation of the falling attacks being inconsistent and tedious to activate, resulting in a melee dash instead of falling attack and vice versa, resulting in you getting parried due to uncontrollable misinputs. This is a problem especially in high-pressure situations, where both you and the enemy is moving erratically, makes it difficult to land. An easy fix to this is to have a separate keybind for the falling attack, or inputting quick fall twice will activate a falling melee attack when the striker is holding a melee weapon. Welkin's axe, Allison's polearm, and Panther's shield sword. I don't mind falling attacks having long starting and end lag, but it needs more incentives, such as hyper armor, longer stun, to make it more viable to use, and perhaps have the ability to kick strikers out of their turret modes. Obviously not all these together, so testing with different combinations should be explored. This post shows a video of Panther's lance hitting even though the player dodged out, most likely due to hitbox jank. But the main issue is the latency will make this issue even worse. I know devs can't really do much about this, but perhaps they should consider some attacks being defenders or attackers sided. E.g., if you dodge a lance attack on your screen, you will dodge it in-game, even if it looks like it hit in the attacker POV. This is called defenders' favored attacks, and vice versa. Clash and parry. The parry and clash mechanics, which in my opinion seems good in theory. However, the parry timing is far too generous as well. The fact that there isn't any efficient, effective counterplay, thus promoting passive gameplay where, if you see another melee, your best option is to straight up run away. For example, whenever I'm in a melee ditto, me and my opponent just stare at each other, not attacking, because we both know attacking is going to be met with a parry or clash. Falling attacks can bypass parry, but it's too slow and unsafe to be considered against shields, at best giving you a 1-for-1 trade. Clashes are even worse offender of promoting passive gameplay, due to the incredibly long stun duration of clashing, as why would you go on the offensive when you could easily be stunned and blown up by the enemies? Also, the argument of just attack from the side is not considering this game has no turning speed, so you can easily track your opponents, always presenting the front of your striker. And in a team fight, you won't have enough space or time to do that anyway. Duration of clashing increase the lighter you are, Welkin fastest recovery, Alisnes then Panther and light Alisnes. Fixes for this are to significantly reduce the parry windows and decrease shield deployment time, as this will make parries more skillful and responsive to do. Fixes to clashes is either remove it entirely or significantly reduce the stun time and angle of which a clash occurs to allow you to hit from the side more easily. Also, a priority system could be implemented based on attacks used, not striker-based. For example, jump beats all attacks. Special attack beats neutral and dash attack. Parry beats all except jump attacks. This will make melee versus melee more engaging and encourage you to take offense instead of running away. Melee Long Dash. Melee Long Dash, the strongest melee tool, allowing for excellent chase down and disengagement. However, it is very difficult to act out of smoothly, without halting all your momentum. Only way to exit. Melee Dash is to whiff attack. Backward input, which locks you into place for a bit. Then, you can exit out of Melee Dash animation, and Forward Dash being the only way to exit smoothly. You can also do a Melee Side Dash, when in Melee Dash state resulting in you doing a long dash to either left or right. The distance and time traveled is far too long, feeling sluggish and cumbersome to use, making it difficult to use in indoors areas, resulting in face planting into a wall or overshooting your target due to reduced turning speed during Melee Dash state. This is exacerbated by the fact that you cannot cancel out of this dash at all and have to wait until the full distance is traveled to be able to do any action. My final issue of Melee Dash is due to the lock-on, as some fights are straight up awful. For example, when everyone is cramped in the one room in Eye of Mizra, I often struggling to focus a target because I'm locking on to 6 different people, resulting in my target escaping because my melee auto swung onto some random next to me, instead of melee dashing forward. Fixes I would recommend is when you enter Melee Long Dash, you can cancel out of this state at any point of the dash from any direction. So you can immediately upwards dash, side dash, and quick fall, etc., allowing for more interactive gameplay and higher skill ceiling for melee movement. You should be able to control whether you want to melee dash or do a melee attack. I know this will go more into general tracking of all strikers, but we should be able to control whether we want to have auto lock or free aim. For melee side dash, a change I would do is that can do lots of mini side dashes instead of the current one long dash. This will be much easier to control and more versatile as you can more easily weave in and out of terrain. In addition, you should be able to exit out of side dash at any time, similar to the fix I proposed for Melee Long Dash. As for balance, as these changes would make melee matchups against non-shield users even more polarizing. So I propose that after a clean hit or a whiffed attack, not a cancelled attack, Melee Dash should go on cooldown for a few seconds, maybe 5 to 10 seconds, to allow the victim to have a breather and get to their team. Another potential fix would be that follow-up attacks long dashes after targets, if FCS is locked on, or immediately swing when FCS is broken. Since Quick Boost breaks lock, and then another Quick Boost will break it again. Meaning if someone is just spamming the melee button, it'll be like, now, auto swing resulting in a whiff. But if you time it versus greedy opponents who doesn't want to waste EN on dodging, you can continue the assault resulting in a melee dash. In summary, if they decide to spam movement options, they basically trade EN to not get comboed. But if they don't spam burst movement, you can then cancel or wait out the follow-up attacks and get your long dash again to chase, making melee interactions more interactive and less of a non-stop assault with no drawbacks. Zero to death occurs when you melee someone who has run out of energy, and due to melee reducing energy gain of the target, they cannot gain energy fast enough to dodge out of hit stun. I'm on the fence with 0 to deaths. I wouldn't mind too much if it was removed or not, as 0 to deaths are quite uncommon. Some may say that it encourages management and team play, and some say it's a ridiculous mechanic. Personally, it seems far too extreme of a punishment, so I would at least reduce the energy reduction on melee hit, so at least the heavier strikers can survive the combo. Redundant combos. Combo system feel rather tacky, looks cool, but there isn't any practical use for it, as 90% of the time you will not pull off the full combo, as the enemy will most likely escape after the first hit anyway. And there aren't any special properties to final attacks of combos, so there isn't any incentive to go for the full combo. Perhaps the animations can be reused for a possible future melee move set rework. Perhaps addition of heavy attacks doing long stun. Conclusion. Anyway, that's all the immediate and necessary fixes I can think of. I had more ambitious ideas of whole move sets and active input attacks. But it would be pretty unrealistic for the 1-year deadline release that developers have to meet, so I won't put them in this video, perhaps a future video if I'm bothered to. And for those who think I'm being too harsh or I'm slandering their perfect game, I'm just gonna say that I love this game too, and currently suffering Mecha break withdrawal as well, but we must be harsh on things we love and be critical on the games we enjoy in order for that thing to reach even greater heights.